Hi, I'm Dhruv. I'm a software engineer and I have been building AI products for the last 10 years now. This is my YouTube channel where I break down what's happening in the AI world currently and how you can leverage it for your business. A part-time front desk costs around $1,200 a month and still misses about 40% of the after call. And it holds across all industries like dental, med spa, vet, salon, basically every appointment related business. Here's the question I keep hearing: can AI actually replace the front desk, or is that just hype? And the real answer is yes, obviously, and for less than a quarter of a cost. But not the way most people think. Most people picture a robot voice that frustrates customers and books them into a wrong slot. But the reality is way better than that, and way cheaper than most of you realize. In this video, I will talk about the architecture, cost, where it actually breaks, and when does your business actually need it. Every appointment-based business runs on the same basic pattern. You need someone to pick up the phone, book the appointment, confirm it, maybe reschedule it when someone asks for it, and remind people one day before. If they don't pick up, you lose the booking. If the customer is a no-show, then you lose the slot. Stats across all categories are pretty consistent. Around 40% of inbound service calls go unanswered, and that's not just after hours. That includes business hours when the front desk is on another line. In dental practices, the cost of a single no-show runs $200 to $400 in lost chair time and overhead. In real estate, a missed buyer lead is worth about $427 on average. Now multiply this across a month, and you are looking at 4 to 5 figures of revenue just from people who tried to reach you and couldn't reach you. The fix is not to hire more humans because the math doesn't work. A part-time receptionist runs 12 to 1800 a month, full-time 3 to 4000. They will have weekends off, other additional leaves, fixed working hours, lunch, and other breaks, and various missed calls while attending to another call. Here's how I would build it. Just 5 components talking to each other. Component 1, the phone layer. Using Twilio, you buy a number for about $1.15 a month and route inbound calls through Twilio's voice API. Component 2, the voice agent platform. This is where the most of the action happens. You got real choices here: Vapi, Retell, Bland, VoiceFlow, or you build your own on top of Twilio with Claude or GPT. For most appointment-based businesses, the right starting point in 2026 is Retell. It is cheap, fast, compliant, and holds conversations that feel natural. Component 3, the brain. That will be Claude API, or you can use GPT. Doesn't matter much for this use case. Here, the LLM decides what to say next, what tool to call, and when to escalate. You just have to write the system prompt that defines the receptionist's personality, the rules it follows, what's it allowed to commit, and what it isn't. Component 4, the scheduling integration. We have Cal.com, Calendly, Google Calendar, or a direct API call into the practice management software. The agent calls check availability tool, gets the open slot, calls a book appointment tool, locks the slot, and an SMS confirmation goes back through Twilio. Component 5, the database. Airtable is good for early stage, and Postgres if you are scaling. You are storing client records, call history, and escalation flags. Nothing fancy. So how would this actually run? Take for example, a patient calls a dental clinic post working hours in an emergency to get an appointment. Twilio routes the call to Retell. Retell handles the speech to text and turn taking. Claude sees the transcript, something like, "Hi, I would like to book a cleaning for the next Tuesday." The tool hits the calendar API, returns 3 open slots. Claude tells the patient those slots, and the clients take their pick, gets a confirmation ID, and tells the client they are booked. Then it triggers an SMS confirmation through Twilio. The whole thing takes about 3 minutes, maybe 4. The client never knew it was an AI. Now let's talk about what it costs. Let me build this out for a small practice doing 200 calls a month. 3 minutes per call, that's 600 minutes a month. Retail at 7 cents a minute times 600 minutes, that's just $42. Claude API on Sonnet at current pricing is $10 for 200 calls. Twilio inbound voice 0.0085 per minute. 600 minutes, that's like $5. Phone number, $1.50. Total for a 200 call month, that's rounding it up to about $60 in usage. Now scale hack. A busy practice doing 1000 calls a month, 3 minutes minutes each. Same math. That's about $300 a month. Compare that to a part-time human receptionist at $1,200 a month or a full-time at $3,000 a month. And neither of them takes calls during weekends. You are paying 10 to 20% of the cost of a human, and the AI works at midnight as well as weekends. Doesn't take any breaks, doesn't take additional leaves, doesn't quit in 3 months. But here's where I would push back myself. The math doesn't tell you the whole story. Because human receptionists do things AI can't. This is where most YouTube videos stop and get you a fake perfect demo. I want to show you the failure modes because they are real and they matter. Failure mode 1. Mishearing. The voice agent gets a patient name wrong, books them under the wrong record, the SMS confirmation to a phone number that's 1 digit off. This happens especially with names that aren't common in the training data, especially with accents, over a back cell connection. The fix is to ask the patient to spell their last name back every single time. Costs nothing, fixes most of it. Failure mode 2. Scheduling conflicts. If you run a multi-provider practice, let's say multiple dentists, multiple rooms, the calendar lookups get complicated. The agent thinks a slot is open because it's open on the calendar, but the resource is actually double booked because of how your PMS handles room assignments. This is real, and the fix is real architectural work. You have to teach your agent your actual booking rules, not just check the calendar. Failure mode 3. Escalation. There are calls that AI should not handle. A client calling because they are in pain and need an emergency visit, or a billing dispute. Anything where the answer touches medical or legal liability, the AI agent should have an escalation path. So solution, either route to your phone number or to a voicemail you actually check. And the biggest failure is that AI does not know when the condition is out of its knowledge base. You need a confidence threshold. If the agent has had to ask the patient to repeat themselves 3 times, then escalate. If the patient says something the agent can't classify with high confidence, then escalate. The cool part is the same architecture works for dental, restaurants, offices, salon, you name it. If this was useful, hit the subscribe button, and I write a free weekly newsletter at week1labs.com, 1 email a week that is about the most important AI developments. Link is in the description. See you in the next one.